And so you work with the boutique agency for a number of years, and then the pull of California becomes strong. And you head over to the US to go on a really exciting growth journey with MarketCast. Tell us a little bit about that. You know, you're settled, you're in the sunshine. I guess the weather in California and Sydney is pretty similar, so tick that box.
There was actually another agency in between. So from staying in sort of the boutique agency, I moved to another pretty small agency called House of Brand. They tended to do slightly different set of work, and part of what they did was, and probably still is, entertainment research, which I'd never even sort of heard of, didn't even know that was a thing. And so it's a predominantly Aussie clients, local filmmakers, local TV production, that kind of thing. And I really loved that side of things. And I don't think I ever intended to live in California. I mean, I never intended to live in Australia, but so there you go, there's a pattern there. And I'd met my parents over there one year, just because it's sort of in the middle of the UK, and just kind of loved it, just fell in love with it, and sort of went, oh, I can live here, I could live here. And obviously that had planted some kind of seed, and then I woke up and sort of literally sat up in bed one day and went, I'm moving to California. And thought, oh, that's a surprise. So it took me about a year, but yes, I made that happen. Kind of, I had that entertainment experience to leverage. And so, yes, I landed with a company called MarketCast in California, which had sort of specialized and focused on entertainment research. So, yeah, gut decision.
Fantastic. And that ended up taking you on an incredible growth journey. I believe they were more mid-sized when you started and pretty large by the time you finished off, and you really went through the ranks there and ended up as SVP, I believe.
Yes, they grew a lot while I was there, so the organisation shifted quite quickly. We've had to keep up with it. And yeah, I was lucky enough to work with some amazing people, some amazing clients, ran a team over there, got to SVP, as you say, and then I decided I was coming home.
Yeah. And just to touch on that a bit, Claire, obviously growth is always perceived to be exciting within businesses.
Yeah.
That's what we all show up to do. But talk to me about some of the challenges, but also the opportunities that that growth came from. And I believe that it was sort of circa 75 people when you started and scaled up to about 500 over a period of 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, it grew largely through acquisitions. So there were already a number of companies in the group operating under their own brands, and they kind of got merged together under the MarketCast brand. And then I think there were a couple more acquisitions during my time there. So of course, when you sort of have massive change in that short period of time, suddenly you're working with different people. Suddenly the structure of all the teams change. There's, suddenly instead of one level between you and the CEO, there are now three. And it was a very exciting company to be part of, because they tended to buy in companies that sort of brought some really cool new capability or feature. So you go, all right, well, what's this? What can I now sort of start to blend into my studies? What can I learn? What have you all been doing all this time that I don't know about? So it was exciting from that point of view, and yeah, keeping up with the change was a challenge in itself.
And you mentioned earlier building teams that you managed, and clearly that growth was an important element for the business to be scaling, so that you need more people, and that gives you the ability to flex that management muscle.
Yeah, absolutely. It was challenging to build a team from scratch, but it was great to do that as well, and really kind of handpick people and put different skill sets and personalities together that I thought would sort of complement each other, and make up for all the things I wasn't very good at doing. So yeah, I had a wonderful time doing that. Absolutely, sort of loved really loved that part of my career.
Amazing. And so again, Claire, there seems to be a theme here of wanting to tackle big challenges ahead of you. You're SVP at a 500 person, rapidly growing American business. and then you take the decision to start your own agency. That must have been quite a big decision for you. What was going through your mind? What were the fears, the excitement? Talk to us, take us to that place.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first step in that decision making was I decided that America just wasn't for me long term. And I loved it. I still love it. I have amazing friends there, but it wasn't home. And Australia has been home for me for a very long time. I missed the lifestyle, and I'd sort of decided that I'd come to a point in my life where it was time to put down permanent roots and sort of stop all this flitting about the globe. So I think the first step in the decision making for me was that I did want to go home to Australia. Market cast were amazing. They said, please stay on, work from Australia, which I did for a couple of years. And it presented me with an opportunity. So the decision was, do I get a different job in a different agency, or do I kind of take the plunge and start something that's mine and that is what I want to do? Because I think I'd had this taste of sort of the Hollywood clients, and kind of getting to pick and choose what I worked on. I thought, no, now is, if ever there's going to be a time, now's the time. And I think I was finally at the point where I believed in myself enough that I could do it. And that took a long time to get to. And that I had sort of the right experience under my belt, that I knew how to do just about every part of research, and the bits I didn't know, I knew who to call. So yeah, I think that the stars finally aligned, and I decided it was time to take the plunge. Otherwise, I'd always wonder if I could have done it.